Hey guys, welcome to our webinar tonight focusing on RepeatMD and Aesthetic Record in Canada. They recently launched in Canada and we have got a great account base in Canada, so we're thrilled to be able to introduce you guys all tonight to RepeatMD and to what they can offer your practice, from increasing patient acquisition to increasing revenue, transactions, getting folks to come back more often to earn rewards. Really, there's an unlimited amount of things you can do with RepeatMD, and I'm thrilled to walk you through all that tonight with Phil. We have on with us tonight the CEO and President, Phil Sitter, who built RepeatMD, I don't know how long ago, many years, but they've accumulated lots of patients, lots of practices over the few years. Many of them also have AR, so we're watching it unfold with our own company over the past few months to see our practices really dive into this and really be using it often, and we're seeing some great results we can't wait to share with you all tonight. But we're going to go through at the end how it actually works with an Aesthetic Record. You can see the whole flow from start to finish, how you look at business insights, how to do your checkout process. But the main thing to know is you're going to get all the benefits of RepeatMD without all the work of two different systems and disconnected things. It's going to all work inside of AR for you. Very easy, very seamless, very simple to make it profitable for you to practice, but also a high revenue earner for you as well. So we're thrilled to be here with you in Canada tonight, and we have with us on again Phil Sitter, the CEO and President of RepeatMD. We're going to bring him on in just a second, but before I do, just a quick note. At the bottom you see on your screen a chat bubble and also a Q&A bubble. If you have any thoughts around the webinar, questions, concerns, ideas, put those there. We're answering that stuff in real time, so if we don't get to it tonight, don't worry, we'll get to it tomorrow or overnight for you. But you can go ahead and put that in here right now, and we'll try to do that in real time on the webinar tonight so you can get your answers tonight. So without further ado, welcome to our show, Phil.
How's it going?
It's going great. We've had a whirlwind experience, you and I, since we launched this integration, I don't know how many months ago. It's been a great ride. And now Canada, we're thrilled about Canada. It's such an exciting time for us. So I can't wait to dive in and see how we make the Canadian experience as awesome as it's been in the US. So take us through all of it.
Absolutely, and I'm happy to. And so, yeah, this integration in the US has been incredible. We share thousands of practices together. And today it's super exciting, not only to go over the integration, what it means, but how do we bring best of class patient financing, rewards, memberships, the entire experience together so you and your practice can have the best experience and beat out the competition.
Yeah, and let's discuss, before we go into that, these rates you guys have, by the way. As you guys watch this webinar, the rates for RepeatMD are just insane. So good. We've been doing this here on our own. I'm like, I don't know how you guys do it. But what a great opportunity for the money. I mean, the money for the practice, the revenue from the patient, but also the great rates. Like, kudos to you guys for getting that done because it's amazing. So I'm thrilled to hear how this is all going to come together for our Canadian friends.
Yep. So the reality is patient financing has most definitely been done before. And so why we're so excited is because the way we're bringing it has never been done in Canada. And the reality is patient financing today, the way you might experience the way you know it, the way it's always been done, is it's all due to the patient's credit score for approval. We all know that. But then there's a variability of rate, right? So when a patient gets approved and they have a 800 credit score, right, and they get 12 months, they get a different rate than a patient that gets approved with a 650 for 24 months, lower credit score, higher term length. Well, we agree that that's not fair, right? Because you don't know what patient's walking in, what their credit score is, how much they're going to ask for. And so all of a sudden, these financing companies are saying, hey, we're going to charge you as low as this, but really that's for a perfect patient, perfect score, and you're actually being charged between 10 and 20%. So what we're coming, on this webinar with is the entire package of one consistent fee of 3.99% for any score that gets approved for any term length. So 3.99% for your 650s all the way to your 800s or whatever the approval is. That alone saves thousands and thousands of dollars for practices of sales that you're already making. It is free money if you have a better rate, right? When I have a rate for my house and I pay for, a more expensive rate, it's still the same house, right? Like, I'm just wasting more dollars. And so that's going to be a big part of today, is showing you guys, like, hey, patient financing should be best in class, the experience should be best in class, approval should be, but so should the money that you're making. So RepeatMD, right? So we just entered Canada maybe 60 days ago, maybe even less. Today here in the US, we have over 1.5 million patients. We have 3,500 practices. We've done over $2 billion in revenue, industry award-winning platform. And in Canada now, we're actually making a lot of waves. We have about 500 practices that are using us today. Those practices all range from med spas to dermatology, plastic surgeons, wellness, even some dentists and specialty. And the one big through line of the things that we're going to show you today is consumer behavior doesn't change if you're going to a wellness clinic or a med spa or dermatologist. We are all people. And the way we buy and the way that we finance treatments and the way that we want to buy memberships is all the same. And so I feel confident with what we're going to show you today, not only what RepeatMD is, how RepeatMD is going to grow your business, but also how this partnership with Aesthetic Record, perfect partnership to grow your business. And we'll show you that today. Oh, and my God, I forgot. How could I forget? We're going to actually be giving away Louis Vuitton bags here, and we'll show you exactly at the end of this on how that will work. So, you know, what I like to ask is like, what are some of the common challenges in your business today, right? And, you know, there's endless ways to grow. And so when it comes to challenges, you might think about, hey, you know, finding another staff member, or hey, you know, increase of competition or patient retention or summer months. But the truth is that there's endless ways to grow your business, right? Whether you're hiring that consultant, whether you're hiring that next best employee that's going to save your business, or the device, the laser rep comes in with the hottest new device. You know, it's funny. It's like the iPhone, right? They're all coming out with their new devices right now, and they're all going to roll them in and say, this is the device that's going to change everything for you, right? And or new inventory, or you know what, the Google algorithm has changed, or AI search, or whatever it is. There's endless ways to grow your practice. There's endless ways to spend money. Everyone's happy to reach out their hand and have you spend it with them. But the truth is, one of the most important pieces is there are fundamentals to grow your business. Okay. And there's 3 fundamentals. And with these fundamentals is really what gave me a business breakthrough. So my background is I'm a 5th generation restaurateur. So, you know, like my great grandfather was in restaurants, and I'm, you know, from Vienna, Austria. I don't have the accent anymore. I moved here when I was 6, but I do have the lederhosen, if anyone knows what the hell lederhosen are. Okay. So I got the lederhosen, just no accent. But when I was in the restaurant business and I started on my own, I had one restaurant. I had one restaurant for 7 years, and then eventually I expanded to multi-location, multi-concept, 1,200 employees, all these things. It's because I learned the 3 fundamentals of growing any business. It is such a like game-changing moment for me. It's not mine. It's actually Jay Abrahams, who helped Icy Hot out of bankruptcy. Like they were worth nothing, and then in a year they completely turned it around for them. But these are the 3 fundamentals, and I want to share this with you because likely like it helped me, it'll help you. Okay. First, the fundamental is you got to get more customers, right? Which is not shocking. I need more customers. That's where most people like start and stop. I need more customers. I need more customers. But the truth is, you don't just need more customers. You actually need them to come in more often, right? That's where retention has to be an obsession. How do we retain our customers? And then finally, when they do come in more often and you get more customers, they need to be buying more. And that's a huge part of the presentation Tiffany and I put together today is like, okay, we're going to show you how to get customers. We're going to talk about how to get them to buy more often, but how do we increase their transaction size? And one of the things that she and I both believe in is a patient should never be walking out the door with a potential transformational treatment right at their fingertips because they don't have access to financing or proper financing. And it should not be the situation where you don't even feel comfortable asking the patient if they need financing, and they don't feel comfortable telling you. You're not comfortable because it's awkward. You're also not comfortable because you don't know what on earth you're going to pay for it. And the patient doesn't necessarily feel comfortable asking. And so how do we break all those barriers? But the magic I want to show here is what all this means. So here's a practice, and they get, and we're going to go fast here, 85 customers per month. They're, get 10% more customers. That equals 94 new customers. And here's why this is important. When I was working with my restaurants, I would tell people, my managers, listen, it's not about getting, 50% new customers this month. It's about just, can we get 10% more? Can we get more referrals this month? Can we do a little bit more on social? Can we get 10% more new customers? Well, if you do that, you have 85 customers, now you got 94, okay? Well, what about their visits? Well, look, a customer's visiting you 3 times a year, right? For their injectables, leaving, et cetera. But what if we gave them a reward, an IV? And so now that when they're getting their Botox, now they've got an IV, and now a few of those customers are going to come in for their IVs and their Botox. Well, guess what's going to happen? That customer is not going to visit on average 3.3 visits per year. Okay, well, How do we increase our transaction size? Things like financing, right? So what they were going to spend was 500, but now on average they're spending just 10% more, and now it's $550, right? So what does that all result in? Well, that takes your practice here from 1.5 million in sales and a compounding effect to 2 million in sales. That 10-10-10 rule. And if you can just focus in on that, where you're like, hey, we don't need every strategy on the planet. We don't need all those things. We don't need another device and social ads and fucking everything. But what we do need is a little bit of a strategy to get more customers, a little bit of a strategy to get them to visit more often. And we need something like financing that can open up the wallet a little bit more. And if you do that, that is how you grow your business 30% year after year after year. And so what are the biggest brands doing today to make sure that they are growing and they're consistently profitable? Well, the answer might surprise you, but it's all of the biggest brands in the world are all mobile app powered. Whether it's Sephora, whether it's Hilton, whether it's Ali, whether it's Air Canada, whether United Airlines, it doesn't matter. They all have mobile platforms, and those mobile platforms are retention-based platforms that not only have you purchase, not only have you finance, but also they let you get rewarded to build in that retention, right? And so a huge part of Repeat MD is we say, hey, all the biggest brands in the world have a mobile first strategy because that's where the consumer is. We're spending almost 5 hours a day on average, right? 5 hours a day on average on our phone. It's like we're living more on our phone than we're living in real life, right? It's like the metaverse is already here type thing. And then you have American Airlines, Starbucks, and Ali giving us the hint. These brands all could do anything when it comes to branding and marketing. Why did they all do a mobile rewards app? Well, it's because retention, because it's upsell, because it's financing. You can finance your airline tickets now. You've seen that, Tiffany, where you can you can finance your Lululemon pants for $200. You can finance anything. Finance a burrito if you want to. And I'm not kidding. You can actually finance a burrito now on DoorDash. You know, is it becoming a strange place to live? I don't know. But anyways, this is all because the modern consumer is evolving. And if you're like, well, you know what? I don't need the modern consumer. Well, at some point you're going to need the modern consumer because that's where the money's at, right? Unless you're just doing facelifts and that's it. Like the modern consumer, the millennial consumer is already 44 years old. And the evolution of this consumer is the one that's always on their phone. So whether you like it or you don't like it, this is exactly where the customer's going. And the reason for that's the most valuable real estate. Right? That's mobile. Mobile's the most valuable real estate. And like I said, 4 hours and 25 minutes in a day, that's what we spend, 65 days a year. But it's not just on that, it's on mobile apps. We don't just have our phone, in our hand, we're actually engaging with it in some degree. So the question is, if 88% of that time is on there, why not some of that time with you? Why not some of that time with you in your practice or outside of your practice? And that's ultimately what Repeat MD is all about. So what we do at Repeat MD is we build you a mobile app that combines rewards, patient financing, and memberships, which ultimately gives you a new source of revenue and the industry's best patient experience. And I'll break down some of these sections. So it's a beautiful mobile app designed exclusively for your practice. It's integrated with Aesthetic Record, which is incredible. Aesthetic Record being the leader that it is. We're like, boom, you use the app, it's in Aesthetic Record. There's no two systems. That is a huge source of industry frustration that they've solved. So we're well ahead of the game with our partnership here. And it's branded for you, by you, and completely designed by us with you with you in mind. So it's beautiful. How does it grow your business, right? It's great that we have a mobile rewards app, but how does it grow? Well, we go back down to the fundamentals, right? What I said before. How do we build something to get more customers? How do we build something to have them buy more often? And how do we build something to increase their transaction size? So I want to frame you with that because the whole point of this is to say, hey, if we all agree these are the ways to grow your business, can Repeat MD help you do that? And that's what I'm looking to show you now and say like, hey, you decide, right? These sections, I'm going to frame them into this route and you decide whether or not this makes sense to you. So get more customers. So the way we do that, number one, is we build your own brand with mobile rewards to attract customers, right? It's not everyone else's brand. It is your brand. It is your app. This industry is obsessed with building everyone else's brand, right? Let's do Ali. Let's do Galderma. Those are all great. Let's do MERS. Let's do whatever. Everyone's got something. And that's amazing. That's amazing for them. And yes, you can benefit for it, but if you're so busy building everyone else's brand, who the hell is going to build yours? Well, it starts with your own mobile rewards app. Okay. And it's rewarding just like Starbucks is rewarding, right? And the reality of that is that when you have a mobile rewards app and you're rewarding per purchase and rewarding per visit, you can also get referrals. That's another way to get more customers. And if you take a look at the screen, this is how simple referrals are. It's a click of a button from your app. No different than, when you click and share the multi-million-dollar house on Zillow, you click and you send, or you click that Amazon book and you send, same thing. That's how we get 88 new referrals in the first 90 days. So customers are being rewarded for their purchases in app, rewarded for the visits within your practice, and getting you new referrals. Retention. Well, it is very hard when you have a substantial patient base to remember who the hell came in, right? And we remember the people that come in often. We don't remember the people that just came in once and we haven't seen them for a while. And so what we've built is a system to automate your retention. So when Phil hasn't come in 30 days, 90 days, 6 months, 12 months, you choose, I'll automatically get an offer unique to me with a text, with an expiration that all lives in app. If it's the birthday, boom, birthday message just like that, birthday offer just like that. We don't ever want to miss someone's birthday in the aesthetic and wellness industry. It's crazy, right? They're going to go do their thing. They're going to go out there, whatever. We need to be right in front of them so our competition is not. So making it easy to use, just like Starbucks. You scan the QR code, boom, you get a reward. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you something, regardless of you using RepeatMD or not, reward point systems suck. Okay, here's why. Because if I get $50, right, or $20 or $100 for every $1,000 or whatever I spend, I'm going to buy the stuff I'm already buying, right? It's like I don't have to think about getting something new because I'm going to buy what I typically buy, right? It's like a savings, right? Now, the difference is, hey, what if we use rewards as a way to introduce, educate, and incentivize, right? So that first reward, give them $50. You want to buy their attention. It's so important that you're buying attention now. You're buying your own customer, right? Because then if the Instagram algorithm changes, whatever, you still have your customer. But after we buy them and after they have the app in their hand, then we use the second and third and fourth reward, all of those rewards as a way to introduce new services, educate your patients on what those services is, and incentivize a new purchase. So if I have a lot of injectable customers, well now, hey, let me show the wellness side of my business through rewards. Item-based rewards is way better than point-based, and I can't stress that enough when you're building a reward system. Cool. Get more customers. Can we get them through referrals? Yes. Can we get customers because they love rewards programs? Absolutely. Right? Now, hey, how do we get them to buy more often? Right? How do we get them to buy more often? Well, patients can only buy the services they know about. So that's first. It's like, hey, if you want your patients to buy more stuff, they got to know that stuff exists. And I know if you've been in this business for a while, there are a huge cohort of your patients that are like, oh, I didn't even know you did that, when you tell them about a service that you've had for a year or 2 years. And you're just like, what the hell? Like, what? Is no one seeing our marketing messages? We've had this treatment forever, right? Or worse, that you hear about the service that they're getting from somebody else. And you're like, I have this. Why are they not coming to me? Well, they don't know about it. And the truth is only 7% of your patients are even reading brochures, right? Like how crazy would it be if we wheel into the office, right? And there's a whole room of patients and they're like studying your brochures. You would think like something happened. You'd be like, my God, it would be so unusual for you to see all your patients reading brochures because that's how rare it is. But you do know that they always have their phone in their hand. 100% of your patients are scrolling through their phone. Again, why not you? Why not your app? Why not right there? Why not introduce them to the services that you have while they're there? So that's step number one. Number two is you got to make it easy to browse and buy. Right? It's like, hey, what treatments are best for me? What are the top selling services? Just look at the simplicity of top selling services. How important is it when you have a new patient for them to be able to browse by their concern or see what your practice is selling the most? Because ultimately they booked a consultation for a single thing and that's all they're doing. And it's like, no, they should discover all the things. It shouldn't be reliant on your front desk or your office manager or whoever to like tell every patient about all the shit that you have. They should be able to do self-discovery, but they can't do self-discovery because it's all human to human conversation, right? It's like we're in the Stone Ages here. Let's go ahead and bring everything back into like letting the patient discover. And oftentimes patients don't want to ask you about these things. They just want to know, right? If you're doing all sorts of services, and my God, the services are getting stranger and stranger these days, right? Like maybe a patient doesn't want to know. And some services are life-changing that they should know about. And this gives you that opportunity as well. Okay? Again, put all the things that are important. You bought the new Silifirm X device. Let's put it on there, right, for the next 30 days. Let's have them meet your team and single bios to learn a little bit more about your practice and book that consultation, right? Let's talk about other rewards points or other reward systems at the same time, but it's all going through your app versus theirs. All these things are important, right? And then finally, or not finally, we've got a few other things here. Sell more memberships, right? Is the ability to see the memberships right from the app, get a sign-up bonus, get a milestone bonus, have all those things work together. But again, if you're selling your memberships through a pamphlet and saying like, oh, just take this pamphlet and read about our memberships, why? Like, why are you doing it that way? It doesn't have to be that way. Someone could immediately get a bonus for buying it. They could double click their Apple Pay. They could have everything they want and you could grow your memberships. Convenience really matters nowadays, right? If convenience didn't matter, we wouldn't be charging, double the amount of food by ordering it through Uber Eats. Why do we, spend $100 on a hot dog on Uber Eats? Because we really care about convenience. And so these things are all simplified through you by selling your memberships through the app as well. Smart benefits, so important to show with your memberships, not only the price that you would pay if you're not a member, but also the price if you become a member, right? Why not have upsells work automatically for us? If I was already going to buy this wellness package and I've been thinking about joining your membership, well, now I can join the membership and buy the package, finance the package too, all at the same time. All right, so moving on here. Members, by the way, it's like a real membership shout out. They spend 34% more. like it's not always about getting new patients. It's about getting those patients to buy more often, bigger transaction size. Well, guess what? Members spend more. They come in more frequently. They spend more money, all of those things. If I could just suggest one thing, you don't do anything different this year. You obsess about selling memberships. You find the right memberships to sell and you start going to town on that. That will be the thing that helps all the other things. And here's another example from a real client. Their non-members spend $1,609. Their members yearly spend $4,037. Guess what? 250% more spend. Guess what they're focusing on? Forget getting new patients. Get your existing patients to become a member. That's the whole goal. Okay, final section, increase our transaction size. We talked about, getting more patients, rewards, referrals. We talked about having them buy more often. Memberships, that's one way to do it as well. Increase their transaction size. How do we get them to, instead of spending $500, spend $550, or instead of thinking about that big purchase, to just do it, right? Well, we got to increase their transaction sizes. And so not only we're going to reward your patients, right? You ever been part of that experience where you're adding things to your cart and they're like, well, if you just add $20 more, you get this thing. Well, folks, it works. That's why it happens. You thought you were going to spend $100, now you spent $500 to get a free koozie, right? So it's like that happens. It works. It's real. It should happen into your app as well. And it is. That's exactly how it works. But also we go back into financing. Remember that ultimate package with Boom, the membership pricing, the regular pricing, wellness package here? Well, guess what? $5,100. That's a lot of money regardless of who you are. Regardless of who you are, $5,000 to spend on yourself is okay, maybe not. But $160 a month, this exact formula is why I have a cold plunge. That's it. That's the only reason. Because if you were to say, Phil, you could buy a bathtub for outside to freeze your ass off in for $6,000, I'd be like, you're insane. I'm never buying a cold plunge for $6,000. But if you said, hey, Phil, you could have that thing for $200 a month with 0% interest. All of a sudden, I like it. So I bought the cold plunge. I got the cold plunge. I got the cold bed. I moved to Connecticut. I'm cold all the time now. Right? So, but the reality is I would not have purchased a $6,000 cold plunge. Lots of people, no matter what, are going to be like, you know what, 5,000 was too much, but $160 becomes more affordable, and it makes a huge impact on your conversion rates. Okay. Now, why does it matter so much? Well, not only does it attract new customers, right? 20% more new customers. Well, more than 50%, 56% of consumers prefer buy now, pay later over credit cards. Why? Well, 28% interest on credit cards, and you don't even know about it. Versus buy now, pay later. Okay, I know what my interest rate is. I know I can make those payments for 24 months and it's done. The problem with credit cards and millennials, it feels looming. It feels like you're never getting out of debt. Buy now, pay later is fixed. So you're like, okay, in 24 months, I'm done with it. So it attracts a ton of new customers, especially the customers that you're looking for. And then it increases your average order volume and you convert more, right? So these things, it's not about doing it or not doing it, or my patients don't need financing. It's not an ego thing. It's a convenience thing. Who are you to know whether or not a person wants buy now, pay later? Let them decide. Is it awkward to say, hey, guess what? You can just scan this QR code or fill out this form for financing? Fuck yeah, that's awkward. Nobody wants to say, hey, you know what? You look like you need some financing. No one needs to do that. Just put it on the mobile app. Let them decide at checkout, right? Like it's that simple, and you will convert a whole lot more. So we opened with this, but look, financing is financing. The money is the money. No matter how you get the money, all that matters is A, you get the money, B, the approval rates are in your favor, and then C, the rate that you pay. Okay. And so we don't believe the way the industry has done this is fair. So with RepeatMD, Affirm, the Aesthetic Record, all together, 3.99% is what you pay. Okay. And here's what you get. Here's what's being pitched to you every single day, which it looks fine, but like at the end of the day, it's your money. Why not get it cheaper? This is what you see every single day, right? Hey, $700 for a 3.5% practice fee. Well, who the hell finances something for 3 months? I don't think that it happens. And in fact, I know it doesn't happen. And the only reason why they do it is for compliance. They just want the ability to market the low rate. So that's why they do something unreasonable like 3 months financing. Yes, maybe 1 out of 1,000 patients do that. But most patients will do 12 months or 24 months. Well, hey, they marketed to you 3.5%, which is great, or maybe even lower sometimes, promotional rates. Here's the problem with promotional rates. Well, it's 12 months, 24 months, the rate's way higher. But the worst part of promotional rates, and guys, I really want you to hear this, you are screwing your customers with promo financing, because what you don't know, and you should definitely ask, if they miss one payment, that thing balloons to max interest and it's all due. Okay. And so what does that mean? Well, hey, say I got 0% interest and whatever, I missed a payment. Well, now, boom, you get hit with 35% interest. And you sometimes have to pay the whole thing off, or now your loan is at a 35% interest rates. So these financing companies are hoping people, you ever wonder why it's so hard to pay some financing companies? You're like, why? Well, like we're in 2025. Why is this so hard? Because they're hoping you miss the payment. And think about like that experience for your patient. Long story short, financing is financing. The dollars are the dollars. You should pay the lowest rate and get the highest approvals. And that's why we partnered with Affirm. So what does it all mean for your bottom line? Right? It's like, hey, this is the old way. This is the new way. The new way is soft credit checks, no impacts, 3.99% for any term length, for any credit score that gets approved, and up to $22,000, up to 36 months of financing. That's the old way. Or excuse me, that's the new way. The old way is the opposite of all that. Okay? And the reality is you're saving 50% of fees. Right? If you both get $10,000, well, one practice is going to pay $953 in fees. If you do it with us, it's $429 in fees. And if you extrapolate that out times 10, right? Now it's 4,000 versus 9,000. Times 100, it's 90,000 versus 40,000. Times 1,000, right? You get the point. Paying 900,000 in fees versus 400,000 in fees, right? And so the numbers get bigger, but you're getting a reduction of fees of 50% across the board with the best approval rates. So what do we see at RepeatMD? Well, because of all these ways to grow the business, get more customers, have them increase their transaction size, have them come by more often, we see an average practice increase the revenue that is fully enabled with RepeatMD, motivated to use the thing, staff involved, trained, 22% increase in revenue. So if you're a practice that is a solid practice with a good patient base and you're looking to take your practice to the next level, outmaneuver the competition, make more money, this is a great fit for you. If you're a practice that can't even like get their front desk together and hair on fire, pants on fire, and the last thing you need is another thing, it's probably not the right fit for you. But if you are looking to take things to the next level, we've proven time and time that we can, and we would love to be a partner of yours. And as we talked about, we're now fully supporting Canada, right? So what does that mean? That you can sell 24/7 with fully localized pricing, through Canadian dollars and full payouts to your local bank, right? And this is a bear of a investment and time and energy to be able to do this thing. So it took us, like 2 years to finally get there, to localize everything XYZ, but we now fully support Canada in every way. So with that, you get a team dedicated to your growth, whether it's ongoing support or onboarding specialists or client success teams or design specialists. Everything that I showed you today is designed by us. We don't just say, hey, here's a shell of an app, best of luck to you. We realize that you're a small business doing things that are the most important, which is transforming patients' lives, and it's not about setting up your app, right? We do all that and we manage all that. We even take things to the next level by sending out all your promotions and all of that for you too. So remember this box right here, this sweet little baby. We are announcing a winner for the Louis Vuitton bag on September 2nd. All you have to do, you don't have to buy, you don't have to do anything besides schedule a demo to win this bag. So if you take this QR code, you scan this code right here, you'll be entered to win. All you have to do is show up to your demo, hear us out why RepeatMD is going to be a great fit for your practice, and one lucky member is going to win that Louis Vuitton.
I want to be that lucky winner, Phil. I think I deserve the Louis Vuitton.
You deserve more than Louis Vuitton. You deserve the whole store.
I'll take everything. Well, all the things you just said, my mind is like racing in a million directions because I've been thinking about a lot of these topics all week long. But I love what you mentioned about credit card rates. I mean, the rich stay rich because they don't waste money. And so I think what you mentioned about you don't have to look like you need money to finance. It's a smart decision for you. I think for our patients who are in the chair, they're a higher echelon. We know they're higher echelon patients, period. But this is a smart way to save money for the patient, but also for the practice. It's a no-brainer. And as we've seen this unpack over the past several months, practices who use RepeatMD are using it, and they're very active. Their patients are active. They're coming back in more often. We're seeing them more through our system. So we know it works. We're seeing it work in real time. And they're happy. Like, people are happy about this, which as a person who runs a tech company, you do this as well. It's not always happy. So it's simple. They know how to use it. It's easy for the patient to do, to scan the QR code, to check in, to get the milestone bonuses. It's just really simple, which I think is important for all of us. And part of what we're going to offer here at Aesthetic Record is to simply integrate that into your current workflow because, as Phil mentioned, if it's all sort of disconnected and in different places, it's just hard to use and it makes it less attractive for you as a practice to actually do it. So I'm going to walk through a couple of quick things in the integration. You guys have been probably putting questions throughout the sessions here and chats and things. We're answering those in real time. If we don't get to it tonight, we'll make sure we get it to you via email tomorrow. So don't worry if you don't get your question answered today. But I'm going to walk through the integration just real quickly and go through a couple of things you can see on your screens and kind of what it does for you as you look at your business insights and at your overall practice numbers. So a couple of quick things for you. He mentioned memberships. We are huge fans of that here at AR. We are big believers in memberships, and it's important for the front desk person to know it when they walk in the front door, for the provider to know it, for the MA to know it. So for AR, when you bring over memberships from RepeatMD into our system, they get a nice little badge, so you'll be able to track that membership status on their patient profile, little R. You can pick your colors for different membership types, but also the checkout. Super simple, super seamless. If they bought it or they've earned it and it's in the app for RepeatMD, you will see it inside of AR, and I'll go through that in more detail in just a second. So if they've got it in RepeatMD, they're going to have it in AR. So nothing falls away, nothing goes missing. And then lastly, whatever they do there, whatever they do with the app, with all they're at home at 2 o'clock in the morning scrolling like me, buying all their things, if they purchased it, again, it's all going to be in AR as a payment type. So you'll actually see on your business insights that they purchased something. You can tie that revenue back to RepeatMD, so your books will always balance. So part of integration is always a struggle around reporting. We've made it very simple for you to make sure that you know where the dollars are coming from, where they came from RepeatMD, and they're going out of AR. You can track all of it from end to end. So I'm going to go through that real quickly here. There's a full library of articles for this, so if you're ready to go and you're super jazzed about the whole thing, we can get you integrated quickly. There's a QR code here at the end to go ahead and get the articles done. You can look through everything for activation, but I'll go through it at a high level here. So one thing he mentioned is inviting patients in, the referral part of it. You can invite them from your RepeatMD system with NAR in the wallet. I think it's a huge benefit. It's like, oh, you're not a member yet? Invite, done. You'll see that in a second. Badging important again because you have to know that they have a membership in order to be like, oh gosh, welcome back, member Jane, whoever you are. It's a nice personalized part of it. Also, the wallet makes it really simple to just track everything back and forth. You also have your RepeatMD dashboard, so you can kind of see what's happening in RepeatMD, but also within AR, so it's a pretty consistent way to track it. And then lastly, just reporting. Again, we want to make money, and if to make money, you must track money. And so you want to know where the money's at all times, and the tracking is very, very important for us. So we're going to give you some ways to redeem, to look through redemption report to make sure that everything sort of reconciles at the end of the month. So what's included? Here's what you can see inside the app. In-app purchases, like you mentioned, whatever they buy, you can see it. Any of the earned rewards, you can see those, the badging and benefits. Also, we just launched Repeat Cash. We're very happy about that. That's a big thing for us. Repeat Cash is in there now, but also the invite link, which I cannot overstate how important that is. We've seen a lot of use of that because people don't know about the app yet. They're a new patient for your practice. You can get them signed up right then and there, and it's super easy for them to just go ahead and do it on their phone, and life is good. So this is a lot on the screen here, but I'm going to kind of just quickly go from left to right here. Number one, on the left-hand side, if you've used AR before for your POS on your iPad, you've got your wallet at checkout. So if it's in the app, again, for PDB, they purchased it, you can get to it from AR. At the checkout, you just pick it, and it gets applied to the invoice. So what that means for you as a practice is there's no back and forth. Your current workflow today that you're already doing, it's the same workflow you've been doing forever. It's just now you have a new button that says RepeatMD on it, and all the things they've earned or that they purchased are all there for you waiting. Or membership-wise, also there as well. So you can redeem by the unit or by the dollar amount. This is a big thing for us because if you have a different cost in AR and you have it in RepeatMD, don't worry about that. We've got you covered there. You'll get a little bit of a bonus in between. You can see where the money kind of goes back and forth, but you can redeem from either way. And then lastly, Repeat Cash. So that's a big thing that we just added on. I think it's been about a month or so. We've had great success with that. People are very happy. So literally all the things that you have in RepeatMD are now in AR. So nothing is missing at this point. But the big thing for us is it's all there to be easily and efficiently, effortlessly tracked at the point of sale by just clicking on the button and it shows up. So patients who were maybe redeeming before in their app and just some kind of back and forth things that were confusing, no more, that's all solved. So it's a great time to get on board. Also, you'll just see a list, just like you see now in the wallet, just a list of all the things because you want to be able to say in that visit, you already have these things that you purchased. What's a really smart add-on to that, right? What's a good complement for that procedure or a good upsell for that procedure? They've already have a sunk cost. They've already spent the money coming in. It's already there. Why not trade that up for even more things or the right things that should be part of that procedure? So it gives you a really good starting point to know what they already have in the wallet, where you're starting from to then add on. So again, you see your in-app purchases. The benefits for the memberships are really cool because you get this, like we call it here, the you pick two. Like if you're going to pick the salad and the sandwich, you have these options. I'm not sure if you can see it here. It's a little small, but you have like 1 of 4 remaining or 2 of 4 remaining. So you get these options and you're able to choose what you want at checkout so that if you've got lots of flexibility in your memberships with RepeatMD, it's also flexible inside of AR. And then lastly, transfer credit. This is kind of a big thing. If you are redeeming for a wallet value that is different than what they paid for it because AR has a different cost, or they've changed from Juvederm to now they're going to get a facial because let's say they're pregnant. Who knows what's going on? If there's a difference in value, all the money that's left over gets put into the wallet as cash. So they can still use it. They don't lose anything at all. There's no refunding for you to do in RepeatMD, give them back money, none of that stuff. Whatever's just the difference that's left over gets put into the wallet as cash. You can use it for next time. So it makes it very, very simple to not do a lot of back and forth math. No one has time for that. Next is on the invoice. So if you're a big accounting nerd like I am, you want to know where the money's going. You can see there's 2 little arrows here. The first one is what do we actually redeem? Was it repeat cash, transfer balances, was it in-app purchase, all the things that you could do with RepeatMD. And then you also have like a money type. So credit card or check or cash. RepeatMD is an actual item here on the payment so that when you go to reconcile your books, you can see what part of your revenue in a given month came from RepeatMD. It's going to be a high number. We're seeing it now. It's a very high number. We're seeing a lot of the patients who come in are using it. So our folks that are really involved and invested in this have got major numbers for RepeatMD, so it's been very successful. It's also in Business Insights here as a method, and you can also see a really nice redemption report. So at the end of the month, you can say who came in, who redeemed, who's our frequent flyers, and reward that behavior in AR also, but just to see what the behavior is of your patients who are actually in the app and using it. So it's a really nice way to see in real time what's going on. You can also sort of adjust at that point. If I have the right things on sale, on promotion, the right memberships, you can kind of get a real-time sort of gauge. Because again, anecdotes and data are different. Like the stories you hear and the numbers that you see are sometimes not the same. So it's nice to see the real number in real time and be able to adjust accordingly. So you have here on the screen a little activation code. This is what you'll scan to get all the articles for launching your RepeatMD and AR. So also, if you have any questions along the way, you're like, this doesn't make sense to me, or what did they say on the webinar, you can live chat us at any point, really during the week or weekend. I mean, a lot of hours there. If you're awake and hanging out, working past 9 p.m. on a Saturday night, then go do something more fun. But you can go on here, chat with us at any point, let us know what you need. We can get you help ASAP. We have a whole team that's focused on just Repeat MD. So if you need us, let us know. And then also we have office hours. So if you want to talk to a person live, we work with Repeat MD's team very closely. So if you call them, they're letting us know. If you talk to us, we're letting them know. So we're working together behind the scenes to make sure that whatever issue you might have, we fix it for you in real time. That it's not going to disrupt your entire day. So let us know that as well. But you can do a live call with our team at any point during the week as well and get your questions answered and get this thing done for you because you want to start using it. The financing rates are so good, Phil. They're so good. Such a good financing rate. And you've got such a great mobile app. And I would be remiss to not mention, in the current SEO environment, in the competitive environment, you're competing against everyone else, but in the app, they are yours. They're a captive audience. They're your people. And so to be able to remarket to them over and over again, and they're looking at the app, they're finding out the practice, there's no competition with AI agents and chat bots and different things. It's just the patient and you and this like really great communication highway that you have with them. I think it's just so cool. It's beautifully done, and we love it here at AR. We're having great success with it. So thank you to our team at Repeat MD for that. But if you need us, for sure reach out to us, call us, chat us, let us know. We want you to be successful and to have a great experience with this. So we're going to get you up and running quickly. And with that, get your demo, get your link, get your QR code for Louis Vuitton. You want that. It's awesome. We'll put that back on the screen again so you guys can get that QR code. Make sure you get your demo booked and get that done so you can get into the drawing, but also because you want to hear more about Repeat MD, to see how it works for your practice, and to get on board. And once you do that, the minute you get this done, we will help you to get on board with AR. Let us know. We'll get it all done for you. Make sure it's easy and seamless so you have no problems and no issues, no hiccups at all. But Phil, the Louis Vuitton is such a Repeat MD thing. I'm glad you brought it to the webinar. So happy about that.
Of course, we had to.
Super fun. Got to bring it here
Yeah.
too. And I think, this is just such a great thing for Canada. As you know, we can't do it yet. You're far ahead of us. So we have not yet tackled the Canada market for Affirm. So this gives our practices a chance to offer something really awesome that we can't do, which is wonderful for us because we want you guys to be successful and to grow fast. And our partners have done it faster than we have, better than we have. So it's good to have friends, right? So you guys can get that done through PMD. So we're very happy about that too. So with that, I'll stop for a second. Anything you want to mention, Phil, before we close up?
Just want to thank everyone for your time today. And if you're going to go to a trade show, we will both be, of course, at Aesthetics Next. What's next, 7.0?
7.0, and it's like in a few days. So we're not far
Yeah.
away.
Right. So I will be there for that. And we're happy to answer questions there as well. That's going to be one of the best shows. I think it is the top show of the year. I love the education sessions, the Nexties, the whole thing. It's incredible. So we'll see you there as well.
Yeah, and if you guys are there, let us know because Phil's doing several sessions. I've got a couple, I think, with you guys as well. Come to our booth, check it out. Happy to walk you through how it looks in AR in real time, go through it with you, get your account even hooked up and turned on while you're with us there. We'd love to get you situated at Aesthetic Next because it's a great time to kick off the Q4. As you know, Phil, Q4 is like the chaos. It's the mania of the whole industry. And it's great to get it all done in September so that October 1st, you are ready to go ham on the market and get that revenue in before the end of the year. So I think the timing right now is perfect for practice to make this decision and to get on board and to start with some very affordable financing, but also just a really great way, as you mentioned, to increase the customer acquisition part of it, but also come back more often, save more money. It's a great recipe. So I'm thrilled that we're here tonight talking about that.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you.